Boys, how are we doing today? So today we are doing the Blake Belladonna for my tier list, right? As you guys know, I've done RWBY and I've done Weiss, and after this one I will be doing Yang. All right, I'm releasing them every single Saturday, giving you guys an in-depth breakdown of the characters and kind of what my thoughts on them in certain categories. And I'm taking them and I'm adding up the total points that I give them, either 0 to 5 stars, depending on what I personally rank them in that category. I add them all up and I slap them on a tier list based on the numbers that they receive. So for example, RWBY received an initial 35, but after thinking about it, I gave her an extra point, so she's a 36. It doesn't change where she lands, but as for Weiss, she ended up getting a 46 for me, which puts her at the bottom of the S tier, which I don't know, it's kind of surprising that I didn't actually think it was going to make S tier, but I don't know, I guess it makes sense because I really do like Weiss. So, but yes, as for Blake, right, what we have, let me go ahead and switch, boom, brand new thing. And just a little recap, like you said, RWBY, B tier, Weiss, S tier. That's where I put them. If you guys would like to participate, just go ahead and do this alongside me. Give them your own points and add them up and put the number in the comment section. At the end of it, at a certain point, I'm going to be adding, I'm going to be averaging y'all's and making a viewer tier list alongside of mine so that you guys will be able to compare. So, but yes, so Blake Belladonna, right? Cut this off. Boom, just in case it makes some random sounds. All right, so Blake Belladonna, the third member of Team RWBY, right? She is the quiet one, the almost emo one in terms of, what do you call it? In terms of what Crow said. And just overall, I mean, she's a good character. She's not one of my favorite characters, but I guess we will see how she ranks. So first, let me just copy this picture so that I can post. Good. All right, so first impression, right? So I'm thinking back, like I said, for all of Team RWBY, I have 2 first impressions. So the first impression, I'm going to do a little side by side for me, because I have 2 technical first impressions. I have the show first impression, and I have the impression that I got from the game Smite. So with Smite, yeah, I saw her and I was like, oh, pretty cool. Probably out of the 4, she was the one I was least interested in. And not saying she wasn't interesting, the other 3 were really interesting to me. So that's why I would go with her to be like the bottom on that side, but that's not what I'm basing her off of. That's just a little side piece that could potentially positively influence it, but nothing really happened on that side. But when we look at the Black trailer, right, the Black trailer, we get the first bit of voice acting other than the announcers saying Weiss's name, and the voice acting, or the singing, was not her singing. It was her singing, but it wasn't like her voice actress. So it's the first bit of voice acting that we get. So I thought it was really, really cool. I was like, oh, look at this improvement. So it started off with the heist. And so the first impression of this character was super sick. And I'm going to say, realistically, it's because of Adam. Like, it's just a shame. It's such a shame with this character, because there's a common theme where she always has to have someone else that she plays off of. And I'm like, dude, I just kind of want some Blake, you know? It's like, but it's always Blake and Yang, or Blake and Sun, or Blake and Adam, or Blake and Ilya, or Blake and it's always Blake and someone. It's not just Blake. So, but this does work for her in this first impression, right? Because the heist, and then the curiosity, I was like, right at the end when she cuts the train link, I'm like, why did she do that? You know, because everyone's first impression, they usually not like, oh, it's because, you know, he said they're gonna blow up the train. No, it's like, It's kind of just kind of blows over until you watch it a second time and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So there was good plot, you know, hinting right there. I was like, oh, that was very interesting. And, you know, Adam and her just had really, really good fighting styles. So, I mean, I would honestly, truly say, yes, first impression, 5 stars. I was thoroughly interested in her story. And Blake has probably my second, if not, I mean, depends on the day, depends on how I'm thinking. It could be the first or second one of my, for me in the trailers. Just because there's so much plot in it, and I love when the plot progresses and when they hint at plot. So when they did that, I was like really, really interested. So like with Weiss, it was just kind of her singing, and I would put Weiss at the bottom of my trailers, right? Because it was cool. I don't get me wrong, I love Weiss, but her trailer was probably the weakest out of the 4. But Blake's just has so much good storyline that it's pretty hype, right? So that's why I would give her 5 stars for that. So now we're gonna look at the her design. So first, look at her new one. So her new one, very, very zippery, like zippers all over the place. I don't know what the zippers in this spot, like down her arms or down like her legs are for. Like I don't understand. And this whole thing being a zipper, it's confusing to me. I personally think if this, like the arms and legs, sure, that I think the design, but having this middle part be the zipper, like she's never gonna close it. So why have it be a zipper in the first place? Plus, it doesn't even look like it disconnects right here. Like it looks like it's like an over the head, and then so like, what's the purpose of the zippers? You know, it's like I don't know. I do like her color scheme that she's always used. You know, the white and the purple. I've always liked that because it complements like the black hair, and I don't like her new hair at all. Well, I should say it's grown on me and I appreciate it, but I preferred her long hair a lot. See, this belt, I understand that. I think it's kind of just a cool look. It doesn't have to be secure. I think that's a very cool design for the belt. And I mean, you know, her sword, her gamble shroud is always looking good. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand the zippers. So this one, it's not a bad design. Like I've always liked like the long like coats that she does, at least from her second and third outfits. But I don't know, just the zippers kind of just don't do anything for me, and they confuse me. So like for this one, I would personally give it like, I'd give it a 3 if this zipper right here wasn't there. If this zipper right here was not there, I'd give it a 3, but because it's there and it confuses me, I have to give it a 2. So back to her number 1. Her first outfit, like generally pretty solid. I mean, it looks like a young teenage girl outfit, you know? So like it's just very, like it's very mysterious. You know, she has the white, she has the black, you know, and she has like the beginning of the little tail pieces back here. So that's really, really cool. You know, I like where the emblem's placed. It's pretty sick. Wait, where's her emblem on this one? I don't know. It's probably on the back or something. It's probably like right here, because like this one's on the side right here, and then this one's on the side. So this one's probably right underneath here, which I don't know why they would hide that. You know, I don't know. But this one was just really, really simple. It's not like the best, but it's not the worst. I just do, like I said, I really, really do like her hair. So I liked how they kept it long. I just think it makes sense, you know? Yeah, I mean, I just think overall, this is a pretty solid outfit. I'd give it like a 3. You know, I mean, there's nothing confusing about it. So it's pretty cool. This one is her best outfit. When this one came out, I really, really, really liked it. I thought it was like super solid. She had a belt that made sense, which doesn't make sense for a lot of people, but this one makes sense because this is the one holding her Gamble Shroud. It's like, dude, that's sick. The tails, I don't know what you call those, but it's like the tails. That's what I'm calling it. It's not a tail, but you know what I mean. The tail, the coat tails. I believe that's what it's actually called, coat tail. And then against the fight against Adam, or in the fight against Adam, when she lost the coat and it was just the top part, and with this loss of the white, and it was just like the very, very dark clothes, I believe that is probably her single best outfit. The coat is really, really good, but the moment it got cut off, it was like really good, because she actually looked more like a stealth character, and it just fit her so much. Because if you're thinking about how her outfits are in the beginning, this is kind of stealthy, you know. It's a little bright, you know, still kind of showing, you know, that she's not just an assassin, but like, or not, she is an assassin, but you know what I mean, like a very stealth type, like a rogue. But like here it's so flashy. It's like you're supposed to be the stealth one of the group. And then like here, but then the moment that got off, dude, it was like it fit her character, because like that, I don't know, it just did. So let me see. So this one, like I said, this is zipper, man. I don't know what these zippers are for, but this one down the middle, I have no idea what it is, because it doesn't go up all the way. Like it's just like I don't know. Like it's two separate zippers. You know. First one, I give it solid. I like it, 4 stars. This one I give 3. This one I give 2. So overall. Oh, hello. Oh, sneak peek at the pictures I'm using. So overall, her character design, I'm gonna give her 3. Right? I feel like that's pretty standard. You know, nothing too crazy. I don't care much for her new outfit. I like her original outfit, and the one in the middle, without the coat, was really, really good. But the overall, the one that she wears, not as great. So 4 for the third one, 3 for the second one, 2 for the first one. Or I'm sorry, 4 for the first one, 3 for the second one, 2 for the third one. There you go. So average it out, 2, 3, 4, smack in the middle, it's 3, right? So character voice, she sounded the most natural to me in terms of all the characters. Sounded like in terms of all the RWBY characters, like the main squad in the beginning, seemed very natural, you know, like she was very comfortable. So I really liked her voice, you know. I think it's very good. So I mean, I'm not going to say too much about it, and she never really does anything too bad. I don't really have anything bad to say. So I'm gonna go and give it 4 stars for the voice, right? What did I say for the other ones? Yeah. So it seems about the same. Yeah. So 4 stars. It wasn't like my favorite voice, but you know, I mean, she seemed natural, comfortable, and I just overall think that her lower voice fits this character, because Blake is kind of a darker character, if that makes sense. Darker in terms of like personality. So it makes sense. So okay. Here you go. Speaking of personality, okay, here we go, boys. Personality. In the beginning, she's very much like... Wait, did I mix this up? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. I thought I mixed it up for a second. Okay, so personality. In the beginning, she's very much secluded to herself, and she's like not trying to... She's so cautious around everything, which her backstory kind of explains. And then she starts to like trust and be part of the team. And then it kind of just shatters, like, and then she starts just blaming herself for everything. And it's just like non-stop. Like when she was doing that thing in volume 2, where she was like, no one understands it like I do. And I get what she was saying, but it was like a bit much. And then she just continued doing it, like with Son, you know, she was like, no, you don't get it. Like, it has to be me. I felt like it just could draw. I feel like it just went on for too long, and then even in volume 6 when they reunited, she was still like here, let me get you the bag for you, and it's like, bro, that's Yang you're talking about, bro. You know how strong she is, bro. She could lose both of her arms and still pick that bag up, bro. But I get why she did it, but this character frustrates me so much. I like Blake, but she hasn't had like the proper time to shine. Like, it's just everything she does has to be with someone else, and it's just like, ugh. Like, I want Blake. I don't want like if you look at her character, the character short, that's not it. There's nothing about Blake in it. It's just about, like, the only thing was like that she let Ilya go. I'm like, this is an Ilya short. It has almost zero to do with Blake, and it's called a Blake short. I'm like, come on, man. And I was more interested in her trailer because of Adam and not her. But that like I said, that helped her out in that category. But it's like, I want Blake stuff. I don't want other characters through Blake. She's literally like a canal, like that other characters get their stories through. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't have anything on her. It's just like, if that makes, like, I hope that makes sense. I mean, she does get a little bit, but more often than not, it's other characters through her. So, like, I don't even get to really see her personality, and I was so interested in it in the beginning. So, but now it's just like, it's Blake. So, don't get me wrong, I like Blake a lot. But it's just like, I just know what to expect, and it's not Blake. I just know to expect other characters. So, I mean, I will say in volume 8, when she started to talk about, when she had that little brief conversation about RWBY, even though it wasn't very, like, it was all implied stuff, but I did really like that scene. You can check in my reaction. But it was, yeah, like, you saw a little bit, you saw how happy she was, but I don't know. But her personality, like her facial expressions and stuff, her personality kind of shines through her ears too. When they introduced her ears, like, actually being very relevant, you can kind of like see all of her reactions through her ears. I thought that was really cool, because like I'm like a big fan of cats, so like I thought that was really sick. But yeah, and like you said, she starts off so interesting, but then she just like stops being interesting because it's not her, it's other characters. So I don't know, I have to give her 2 for this. It's like, she could be so great, and I really hope they turn this character around and actually give Blake some stuff. And I mean just Blake. I don't want her Blake and RWBY, Blake and Wise, Blake and Yang, Blake and Jean, Blake and Neo. I'm Blake and the God of Light, or whoever's in this place. Like, I just want Blake. I want other characters to support her growth. Like, have a RWBY and Blake, or Weiss and Blake, or Yang and Blake, or, you know, Neo and Blake, but have Blake grow as a character and show her personality more. And I'll like it. Yeah, but like her personality just kind of just really like, it's my problem. And that's like her whole personality right there. Yeah, but I really want them to grow this character more. But you know, what can you do? So the weapon, right? Her weapon, the Gamble Shroud. Gamble Shroud, super sick, right? I actually really like this weapon. So it has several different forms to it. I think it's probably the most, other than Sun's, you know, speaking of Sun, he's right here. But speaking of Sun, I'm sorry, the very far. But her sword has so many different like forms. So this right here, this is when it is in the sheath, and this is also a weapon. So it's when it's sheathed, it's a weapon. She can use this as a sword, and I just think that's so sick. I don't know if she can shoot at this part, right? I mean, I guess she could, because this is the pistol right here, so she could technically like shoot, right? Although she does have her finger on the trigger, so, you know, that's just poor gun practice, but that's not relevant. So this part, really, really sick. I actually really, really like her gamble shroud. I think it's super sick. So here it has a couple different other forms. So with the spike backwards, it becomes like an iron sight, and she's able to shoot, although it doesn't make too much sense because the iron sight's down here, and this is kind of like bolted on top, but, you know, still good. And this was when Weiss was holding it. RIP. So it's a pistol, and then when it's forward, it's a sickle. So like when the blade shifts either back, it's a gun. When it shifts forward, it is. Oh no, I was wrong. Apparently I was wrong. Just kidding. Haha, just a prank. All right. I thought this was this way with it forward, but it's not. The pistol's this way. So it's still a sickle. She just throws the back of the gun. So I was mistaken. I thought it shifted forward, but you know, I guess we learned some things. So it's, I thought the blade was either went forward or back. I thought this part shifted. I was like, oh, sick. But I mean, it's still really cool. It still does the same thing, but it just used the back of the gun instead. So yeah, but still really, really cool. So, but then she can use the gun as a sickle by using the back of it, right? And she does it many, many times. She did it. First time we saw it was in 1-8 when when the Deathstalker knocked Nora off, and it pushed Blake off, and then she threw it, and it stuck into the thing. And her being able to control that is really, really sick. Just saying. This part, this is honestly my favorite fighting style, and I want them to bring it back, please. My goodness, please bring it back. This is when she dual wields, right? She has, look at that. Got her finger off the trigger right here. This is proper gun control, just saying. But anyway, so this is where she dual wields with them in the back, bro. Like Tsukiyomi, dude, this is freaking awesome, bro. I thought she was like holding them forward at some point, which I mean, I guess she does. She does when Weiss uses her time dilation on her in 2-4, like she's holding it forward and she does like forward slashes, which is really, really sick. But here, like in the black trailer, she's holding them backwards. So she's dual wielding swords backwards. And I just think this is so sick, dude. Plus this can turn into a, like, this is the blade that folds. Super, super sick, man. Super, super sick. I actually really, really like her weapon. I think her weapon's really, really cool. I really, really like her weapon. Her semblance, right? Semblance. The shroud, you know? It started off very, very simple. Just kind of a shadow. So something would hit and it would disappear, but she leaves it behind and it takes the hit. And if you think about it, it's almost very similar to Neo's, and in a sense, in this specific sense, where she can leave something behind and it takes the hit. Because Neo did that in 2-4 against Blake or Yang when Yang hit him and they took off in the ship. So very, very, very cool. I like how she mostly uses it for this, for them to take the hit. But there's other ways. She can fuse it with dust. So this is this is in 2-11 where she fights Roman, and she uses multiple different forms. So she uses an ice version, she uses a fire version, a stone version. She can pretty much just mix it with dust, and it will essentially, her clone will become whatever she takes it out of. So like right here, you can see her leaving that spot because her shoe's still there. So here is a fire one, right? So this, yeah, this one is against, what's her name? Volume 7, Robin Hill. Yeah, this is in where's Robin Hill? Yeah. And that's just the straight up fire one. And is she shooting her fire one? Interesting. Interesting indeed. But you can see like the fire, like the red right here on this. That's pretty sick, actually. So here, when she was fighting, I totally forgot these guys, like their names, but because they're there for like, they lose in the first like episode, and Blake kind of bodies, but she's splitting. There's 2 of them, 2 Blakes. It's sick. And then eventually it evolves, and then she's able to almost manifest one to help her move. So this was in 4-2 or 4-3, I believe. And literally one Blake, the clone, this Blake is throwing this Blake. And it's pretty sick. I really like it. So the fact that it evolved, really solid, you know? But there's not really much like offense. It's just a defensive one. She can use it offensively when she uses like the fire one, but even then it's just a counter offense. It's not even like an offense. It's just a counter offense because it still has to be hit, and she still has to be there. Like that's the flaw. She has to be wherever, and then she has to leave that spot. So like she's there and then she has to leave. So that is kind of flawed, right? Or something's pretty cool. In the beginning, it's really hype, but it's at almost its peak, like right there, unless it evolves further and she's able to like make multi-clones, almost like Naruto, or like Sun. But that's kind of the peak of it. She goes and she has to be there. She has to be in danger. And even when this is Roman's shot, when it hits this and it explodes, all that stone is gonna bounce back and can possibly hit her. And that's an explosion. It could hurt her. So that is a major flaw in it. So although I do personally really like it, I don't like the flaws. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her 3 stars for that. Just because they're like, it's not like she can just create a clone and it'll go somewhere and it'll sit there. She has to leave that spot. Like she has to be there and then she has to leave. If she could like be like, go to this spot and it would like go to that spot, that would be sick, but she can't. So, you know, all right. So combat, all right. So she gets, like I said, she gets 3 stars for the semblance. I do really like it, but I don't like the flaws. So I'm just going to say there's goods, they're bads. So I'm just going to give it right in the middle, 3 stars. Combat. It's pretty good. When she like especially in the tournament, when she is, you know, she does a lot of like flinging herself around, so she utilizes her weapon very well, like in terms of movement. Her movement on the battlefield is incredible. She's always flinging herself all over the place, and it's really good. So, and then she does combo pretty well with especially Yang with the Bumblebee attack. So I do really like that. I do think that's really sick how she utilized her weapon even further with a tether. And then we see like in the beginning, dude, I wanted to bring back the dual wielding so bad. Like if she could just bring back the dual wielding, I think that would be so much better. But she doesn't do the dual wielding anymore. She did a little bit of it back when the like I think that's a difference between the Monty stuff and the non-Monty stuff, because if you look at her in the beginning, like the first 2 volumes, she did use the dual wielding. And then even in the Blake Yang versus Adam fight in volume 6, which was also had a lot of work done from Monty, she was dual wielding. Like she went and sheathed Adam's sword, bro. Dude, what? Who does that? She used her sheath, and while he was going for a stab, She was like, no, I'm just gonna catch that with mine. It was like, what? I was like, bro, that single moment, I feel like that one singular moment, I'm gonna give her a bonus star for, because that I remember that so fluently. It's so good. So I'm giving her a +1. So whatever I decide upon, +1 for that single moment. So dual wielding, so good. They don't use it anymore. I'm like, bruh, like with dual wielding and the movement, I'd probably give her like 4 stars. But without it, it just becomes so kind of dull to me, and I'd give her like 2. But the dual wielding is just so good. It's almost like if you've ever seen Sword Art Online, when spoiler, when Kirito unlocks his dual wielding, dude, that scene blew my mind. I loved every time he dual wields. I love it. I think it's incredible because dual wielding is so it's 100% offense, and you can block in different ways, but it's just so good. And then one-handed style, like one-handed sword style. It's not like she's two-handing the sword like a katana. She's one-handing it. And then her other hand's just not doing anything. I'm like, do something with the other hand. Just grab the other sword. And I don't know. It's just, it's like I said, 4 stars with the dual wielding, 2 stars without it. So I'm gonna give her a 3. And then that single moment of combat with the star, or with the where she sheathed Adam's sword, I'm giving her a +1. So I'm gonna give her a 4. All right. Oh gosh. Hold up. I can't. Hold up. I'm gonna take that star away because I just remembered her fight against that insect thing, and how she just got just bodied for no. Yeah. Okay. I'm giving her 3 stars. So she gets +1 for sheathing that sword. But in volume 8, when she just gets destroyed for no reason by that, like, I don't know what it's called yet, but the thing with the tooth scythes as its hands and the green vomit, dude. Yeah, she just gets bodied by that, dude. It was such an unenjoyable like moment when she just randomly just got clapped by something that probably shouldn't have been a problem. I don't get it. Like, it's just she got bodied in that fight. Like, why did they nerf her in that fight? Like, what? Maybe she's tired or something, but I'm sure you can find an argument. But it was just like, bro, why in the world did she just get bodied that hard? And she wasn't even out of aura, and she was sitting there like yelling for Ruby, like, we need you. And it was like, bro, how? But I was like, bro, at that moment right there, that fight, dude, that was a very, very killer fight for me. Like, it was not, when she just got bodied by that thing, it was not fun at all for me. Jeez. So, theme song. All right, let's move on. Theme song, right? So, all the music in the show is fantastic. So, we are looking at, which one was hers? It should be From Shadows. There are several. She has several songs. So, From Shadows, and then like Morning Follows Night. That was also really good. Bumblebee. That's also a good one. So the music, I mean, the music is just good in this show. So her theme song, I will say, I don't necessarily care too much for hers, but in terms of plot, it is definitely the most interesting. So let's see, because I don't very much listen to the trailer music so much. I think I've listened to them too much that I just burned out on them, maybe. So, and I don't really listen to any other of Blake's songs. I mean, I maybe listen to Bumblebee every once in a while, but they're very, like, it's not on my my favorites list. So her music, I mean, the music in the show is solid, right? Like if I'm trying to like in like a really happy mood and I want to like listen to some really upbeat music, I'll listen to Bumblebee. But I don't ever listen to like Morning Follows Night or From Shadows unless I'm listening to the full playlist on shuffle. Which I don't listen to playlist on normal. I always listen to them on shuffle. Like the one we're listening to right now, by Harris Heller, Stream Beats. I just have it on shuffle. So I don't listen to anything on because I like not expecting what's coming next. So random fact about me, but yeah, there you go. So theme songs. I guess her theme song would be From Shadows, and it is really good. Like I said, most categories in this are getting minimum of 3, and it's just like, do I care for it? Do I like it, or do I love it? That's pretty much it. I don't think I'm gonna give anyone less than 3 stars in this category, just because Jeff Williams does such a good job, and so does Casey Williams. So let me see. I think in the beginning I was really all for it, but then finding out more and more about the like White Fang and stuff, I feel like I just kind of got burned out on it. So I don't know. I give her like 3 or 4. Definitely not 5, but it's either gonna be 3 or 4. And I don't know. I just don't listen to her music at all. So I'm gonna give her 3. I just don't listen to her music at all. Like, and the only time I listen to it is when it's on just the shuffled playlist. But her theme song does have a lot of plot in it. So do I want to give a report for that? No, 3. I'm giving her a 3. So character backstory, okay? Yeah. So we're thinking about Blake. She tells us her backstory in Volume 1. She was born into the White Fang because her parents both ran, or her dad ran the White Fang, and so she was 17 at the time. When she was 12, her dad left the White Fang, someone else took over. They left, like her parents left, she stayed, and they went from peaceful protest to almost rioting in specific spots. And then that's when like Adam was born, or not Adam, like I don't mean like Adam's birth, I mean like the Adam that we know, like his personality, his character was born. Not his birth, you know what I mean. Like that is when Adam's character was introduced into the life. But I don't even know how old Adam is. He's got to be young, like probably the same age, maybe a little older, maybe a couple years older. But dude, her character backstory, even if it's just her, like, dude, her backstory just doesn't really tell us anything about her. Like so these next 2 categories are probably gonna be really rough for me, just because they don't do anything for her. Like they do, but like they don't, not a lot. So let me see. Character backstory. There's all this negativity and racism, if you would, against the Faunus. So she is protesting for equal rights, and then it starts to become more dangerous, and she kind of sticks with it. So that's her backstory. It's very simple. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind simple ones, but in terms of like main characters, I think they should be a little bit more Like, I think even RWBY, I gave her low, right? Yeah, character backstory. I gave RWBY 2 because she didn't have a backstory. She wanted to be a huntress. Oh, okay, you know. Yeah, so that was it. I just think maybe because they started off a little too young in the story, and it's not natural. It's not like a regular shonen where, you know, everyone's got like 40 years of their life before, you know, they're 10 years old. But yes, she has that's pretty much it. She was protesting, the leadership changed, and instead of leaving, she stuck with it, and then she became dangerous. Yeah. It's just so simple, and that's it. So I'm just gonna give her like 2. Like, I just don't like her backstory. Like, it was interesting in the beginning, but like I now I'm just like, just kind of like, oh, okay, you know. So character development, yeah, here we go. Let me see. Her character doesn't change until volume 5, maybe volume 4. Like, in terms of character development, and you could say she like started to trust her team, but she didn't change. Like, she was the same type of character, very much like, it's my job to deal with the White Fang, all the way until volume 5. And then she joined up, and then it went from, it's my job to deal with the White Fang, to, don't be mad at me because I dealt with the White Fang. Not necessarily that, but like, she was like still blaming. She was like, the White Fang is my responsibility. And it's like, what were you supposed to do against but then she still blamed herself for Adam. She was sulking in the beginning of volume 6. And then she was like, no, it's still my response. And it was not. I like this character, but I don't like what they're doing with this character. Ah, jeez. Character development, man. And let me see. In volume 7, they didn't really do anything with their character. Let me think. Volume 8. You had a little bit where she was like, a little bit with when she's talking to RWBY. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I should just say this. The whole Bumblebee thing, if you want to do it, but it should have been done a while ago. Like, it's just so drawn out. I just want them to just finalize it at this point. Can you just make it a thing? Like, the development of that is just taking, like, I don't much care for it, but that's also because it's been drawn on for so long, and I'm like, dude, can you just do it? Like everyone at this point is just so drawn out on it. Because it's not like Nora and Ren, which we've known, and they're just trying to figure out their stuff, but they've both known, but then, you know, like, there was a whole thing behind that. But with them, it's just like, just do it. Like, I believe it was stated somewhere that even the, like, super hardcore Bumblebee fans were just like, okay, I'm over it. Like, because it's not happening. And it's just like, okay. So I absolutely despise this character's development. I despise it. I gotta give it 1. It's just, they don't do anything with it. Like, can you just give her something to do with this, man? Like, I hate this character's development. I want them to do something with it, and it's just not there ever. And every time they give her something, it's always to enforce a different character. Like, Ilya, she's great, but why? Like, scratch the name on that. Call it an Ilya short, like they did for Adam. And then call it, and then give her her own. In the beginning, like, her trailer was really, really cool. But that's, now I'm thinking about it, and it's because Adam was really cool. Adam's like one of my favorite types of characters. Man, I just really, really want them to do something with this character, but they won't. And it's just, ugh. I mean, you can tell I like the character. I just don't like what they've done with it, with the way I've rated it, because you see first impression, the character design is kind of normal, but the voice is good. The weapon's really good. I don't really care much for her personality, like her semblance. Like, this is all kind of standard. And then you just get to her, like, internal stuff, and it's just like, bleh, for me. So, all right. Well, that's going to conclude my Blake stuff. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31, wow. And I think she was going to get a 31. All right, so Blake Belladonna, for me, it's a 31. I believe that puts her in a B. Yeah. Really? She's a B? I thought for sure she'd be a C, but you know, I guess Blake made it into a C somehow. The bottom of C. Okay, there you go. Blake's a C. She's like a C minus, or she's a B. It's like a B minus. So, all right, there you go. Blake, you've made it into the Bs, right? But all right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today, right? Like I said, take your points, put them into the bottom, into the comment section, so I can tally up the you guys' score of her, and I can make the tier list for you guys as well. But if you agree, if you disagree, let me know. I hope you enjoyed. Other than that, I will see you all in the next one.